Good afternoon. You're on Ottawa Designers. We're here with Phil LaPlante, who is one of the head guys at Ideal Roofing. How are you?
Very good. Yourself?
Very good. So I love this company. It's about time that we do a podcast and tell people about the differences between metal roofs and all the different products that Ideal Roofing shows. Could you give a little bit of a synopsis of who you are?
Yes, for sure. Well, like you mentioned, I'm Phil LaPlante, I'm Vice President and of Sales and Marketing. Sorry, put my phone on forward. Sorry. Yeah, busy with that. But yeah, Vice President, Sales and Marketing, and also one of the co-owners. So Ideal Roofing's been around since 1929. We're a family-owned company. I'm the fourth generation. So currently, it's myself and my father. My father is the president and CEO, and myself that are running with a great team that we've had in place for a long time. We're growing constantly. We started as a basically agricultural steel roofing. It used to be a stereotype where it was only for barns, put on barns, commercial buildings. So we've done anything from the Scotiabank, what used to be Scotiabank, the entire center, bar buildings, industrial buildings. And then in 2008, we bought a plant and opened a plant in Brampton, Ontario, where we started making a steel shingle to really go at the residential metal roofing. And that's, yeah.
That's an amazing, honestly, it's one of the best things. And it's such a long product that lasts for so much longer than the other products that are in the industry. Now, there's a lot of myths that come back between what happens if, say, there's, a storm or whatnot with metal roofing. Can you give some of the myths that you've heard and kind of dispute them?
Yeah, for sure. Like I mentioned, the steel shingle or Wakefield Bridge, which is very popular, growing like crazy. We're selling it. It's going on a solid backing, so it's going over a solid deck. So a lot of the one of the big myths that you hear all the time is it noisy? Am I going to hear like your old tin roof songs, country songs, where you'd hear the rain, right? But these are barns; these are open, suspended ceilings. It's completely different now. You're completely a residential house on a solid substrate. The roof, the attic is insulated, so you're not going to hear it any more than a asphalt roof or any other system that you would have. I've heard also, so that's normally the number one myth that people say is it going to be much louder? I'm going to hear the rain and all these. You're not going to hear it. I have it on my personal house. Like I said, I will not hear it. Snow flies off a lot quicker. So the drawback of having snow accumulate on your roof when you have an asphalt where you got to go and shovel it off, you'll never have that problem. But when you get these weather where it's very cold and then you get a warm day in the middle of the winter, I'll hear, let's say, an avalanche fall off my roof, as long as you're protected with certain snow barriers. So that's one of the big myths. The other myth is of course, it's a metal roof, and is it going to be more drawn to lightning, for example? Well, let's say, like I said, that's a myth. Your house is grounded. It's not going to attract more a lightning. Other myths that you are hearing is like I said, it's been tested. It's been tested for years. We wouldn't be in business since 1929 if steel didn't show its terms and its time, right? So the windstorms, we get everything tested. So our steel shingles are Miami-Dade County approved. So these storms you're seeing worse and worse in these regions, windstorms, shingles are flying off roofs, whereas metals, they're withholding all these. The fire tested as well. I've heard people that are saying that firefighters are saying it's harder to get through the hatch to go save victims or vice versa. So since the steel is such a good, strong product, it's completely sealed. Yeah, it's going to be harder. They're going to have to use, let's say, saws to try to get into the roof, but they're going to notice that it's a steel roofing, so they'll have to get through somewhere else. The big advantage of it for fire, let's say, fire-prone areas, Fort Mac, Florida now, they have requirements to have a steel roof because the ambers that are going from house to house land on a metal roof and they do not basically spread. So it stops. It's not going to save your house from a kitchen fire, but it's going to save your house when you're in those areas, right? And they say you're going to help your neighbors. That's why in Florida there's a new code now. Every fourth house has to be a metal roof. Sorry, not in Florida, in California. So every fourth house. So 4 houses, if the fire spreads, then all of a sudden you get a metal house. Should help that transfer of the ambers to protect your neighbors on the other side, right? So
interesting. So what is the installation process installing a versus a standard shingle?
A little bit more complex for sure, the installation. But again, I've always said asphalt shingles, it seems like you can find anyone. You got truck and ladder guys you're competing. I've done one. As soon as you have a little patch job, you ask a few buddies and you try to do it yourself. Weekend warriors, right?
Yeah.
So it seems to be something with a lot of competition. Steel roofing, it's a niche. So we even provide. We have a guy on board named Brad. We hired last year who does these training. We do certifications, how to install Wakefield Bridge, 3-day course. Once you pass it, you feel confident. We even send them to site to make sure they're being installed properly, just to help grow. Because the biggest problem right now is we have many, let's say, very good installers, but they're booked. Right now, they're booked till almost the end of the year. So we're trying to, that demand is a lot higher, let's say, than the amount of roofers that can install it. So it's a little slower, but when you have the good team, I've always said perfect team is 4 guys, 4 roofers. You got a guy that's good with the bends and the cutting, 2 guys laying it down, 1 guy running around the house, loading, bringing up the boxes. A lot lighter than asphalt, so they're not basically breaking their back going up and down the ladder. 45 pounds per box per square, so 90 pounds per 90 pounds per square, 2 boxes for a square. Whereas asphalt, you're about 300 pounds a square. So it's a lot lighter for you to carry, bringing it up and down. I'd say a typical 30 square roof, I've seen guys do it in a day and a half, 2 days, if it's not too cut up. Whereas an asphalt roof, I've heard you can do it sometimes in a day, right? So you're maybe twice the length, but you're twice the price. And it's basically people are going for that niche. And we have customers looking for installers. So that's something that keeps growing.
So now, warranty wise, what is the warranty like on a metal roof?
The all our let's say all our marketing campaigns say 2 to 3 times minimum, but we offer a 50-year transferable warranty with our steel shingles. So most asphalt shingles, you're lasting. They say 50 years. They say prorated, but they're very prorated. They say average roof, let's say, is 10 to 15 years lifetime, and that's if there's no storm. These storms are getting worse and worse. They're blowing off worse and worse. So I'd say you're 50-year transferable with us, and we're not hiding behind our warranty. We come good if there's ever any warranties.
That's amazing. Now, as far as pricing, you had mentioned that it's slightly more costly, but obviously it lasts longer. What do you mean when you say slightly more costly?
Well, your typical, let's say your barn steel, your Americana, which is a very popular for cottages, even for some residential, and that you're almost the same price as your asphalt roof. That's screwed down, so there's no hidden fastener. Once you move up to, let's say, a higher end profile, either the Wakefield Bridge, currently you're about twice the price. And then if you go into our very high end, I call it like the Cadillac products, is our standing seam, so it's our HF. That one there, you'd be maybe 2.5 to 3 times the price. So of course you're paying, but you have the strength of it. It's a higher gauge paint system on them as well. Same as the Wakefield Bridge. There's a best paint system on the market right now, which is basically they call it a Kynar system paint, and that's using these two technologies or use these two products are using that technology. So it fades a lot less, a lot more weather resistance. It won't ever rust, and the fade system. It actually helps you reduce your energy bill during summertime as well, as you've heard me say before.
Beautiful. So now, as far as colors and shades, what are you looking at? What's the scope of colors and quantities that you have?
We have a wide range. We keep introducing new colors, and I've always said it. We got I'd say over 350,000 square foot of buildings with Ottawa, our new office in Moncton, and manufacturing, and in Brampton, and we're always full of inventory. There's no shortage of colors. We see the trends are last couple of years. The black roof seems to be we can't keep it in stock, let's say. The dark colors are always popular, the grays, but we have everything from your classic copper or real copper look or real copper roofs to moving on to your any simple colors. We're also developing some two-tone colors to imitate sort of a change of colors in them. We have a few already out, and we have some more that we're working on.
That's phenomenal. So now, if people wanted to come and actually see the different samples, where can they go see these samples?
So basically, any of our offices are have a showroom. So I'm based out of the head office in Ottawa, so at 1418 Michael Street. They're always welcome to come in, see samples. We'll provide samples. They can contact their building centers as well, any building centers in town, whether it's Home Depot, Rona, Lowe's, BMR, Castle, Timber Mart, all the groups. And we also have many good dealers in the area. So whether it's in Ottawa, Toronto, we have a plant in Brampton, so 223 Corporation Drive. And we also have our new office in plant that's in Moncton, 650 Frenette in Moncton. We have a sales office in Quebec City, and all four plants actually have a full showroom, full samples. So
that's beautiful. So now you obviously have the colors on your website as well, if people wanted to reach out to that. What's your website?
yeah, so it's just www.idealroofing.com or .ca, both the same site. We are improving the site. There should be a new site coming that we're going to really improve and modernize, let's say. That's coming out probably within the next, end of May is our projected launch date. But currently it's there, everything's there. So you can go on, you can check your color. We also have a conceptor, it's called, right at the front page. You go on, you click on this and sort of a system, you take a picture of your house, you load it on, and you can change the style. If you're wondering if, I don't know, a red roof's going to fit on your house, you can put it on and see. You can also change the siding options as well. Siding is growing. We have wood imitation siding that we've launched.
Amazing. That was a question.
That's blown up like crazy. Everyone wants that wood look. No one wants the maintenance of wood, and steel lasts a lot longer, a lot stronger. So we've seen that market grow like crazy. So we have standard colors, but we also have the wood colors, and you can look, like I said, right on our website, you can see what it would look like if you want sort of wood paneling, soffits, wood paneling underneath the windows, the rest of it having a standard black, white, whatever color you want, and then with your roof. So it's definitely something very easy to use as well.
Absolutely. Really siding, mix of different materials. So you can use that siding with stone, with stucco, with brick in combination. It can be on the walls, it can be under a roof or under a ceiling as you walk into your home. It can be around a feature window area. So there's so many different places that this gorgeous wood look siding can be. And like you mentioned, the maintenance is zero. So you're getting the full look of that, natural wood in combination with a stone or in combination with something else, but you're not having any of the maintenance attached. What are we looking wise, fees wise, compared to a standard siding compared to that?
Well, compared to your vinyl, you're definitely a lot more. But once you get into the composite panels, stucco, for example, or stones, like stones is incredibly expensive when you compare it to metal. So you're going to be way, way better priced. You'll be better priced than the bulk of the material by going with, let's say, with our new Galanta siding. So you'll be in the middle of you're not going to be your low grade vinyl that won't last, but you're not going to be at the high end of these new, let's say, they're very nice. The stone look on houses is beautiful. Paired with the metal is even nicer. But you'll see definitely there'll be a reduced cost compared to your stones.
And it's beautiful because it's not something, if somebody can't afford to do a full house, you can do the front in that way and then the sides in another. You can play with these materials in combination. So get, a gray siding mixed with the wood look, or you do a color combination, which really goes well. So there's something for really any budget in this field. And if you take the time to take a photo of your house, start playing with those materials, see, oh, does that work? Does this work? How does the roof look with this one? How does the roof look with that one? It really will save you money economically to do that little extra time to piece it together. So now, can I get your website, your contact phone number for all the viewers?
Yes, for sure. Like I mentioned, it's pretty simple. It's idealroofing.com or idealroofing.ca for everyone in Canada. Phone number here at the office, 613-746-3206. And then any of our inside sales will be happy to help assist anyone or drop into any of our locations. We'd be happy to help you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Phil. I've been dying to do this and share it because now time everybody's in that warm weather. Let's get the renovations done. Let's get the roof done. Let's get the siding done. And there's so many homes that could use this product, and it's something to think of. So Phil from Ideal Roofing, thanks for being on Ottawa Designers, and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Have yourself a good weekend.
Too.